everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. Today I'm going to be doing some baking. I'm making a no-knead artisan bread loaf that anybody can make. It's super simple, couple of ingredients, a little bit of time, and guess what? No knead means no mess. So we're not going to have a huge mess, our hands aren't going to get all sticky. It's a fantastic, simple recipe with just a little bit of time. You too can make an artisan style bread loaf at home that your family can enjoy. Alright, let's get started with making the actual bread itself. So I've got 1.5 cups of water here, and I've got 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to whisk it up. We want to break down that sugar, make sure it's all dissolved before we add our yeast. And the water is just hot tap water. It's not super hot. Definitely do not want to use boiling water for this. Alright, so we're just about there. Now we're going to add some yeast to this. And to this I'm going to do 1 1/2 teaspoon of bread yeast. Doesn't have to be perfectly exact, but if you can get it as close as you can, that's better. So I'm going to give this just a tiny little whisk, just to make sure I don't have any little yeast standing up out of the water. Make sure they get distributed in there nice. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to set this aside for just a couple of minutes while we get our dry ingredients together, and you'll start to see this will get a little bit foamy. So now in our dry ingredients, I'm going to go with 4 cups of flour, and this one here I'm using a Hayden's Flour Mill artisan flour for half, and then I'm going to use a King Arthur bread flour for the other half. So there's 2 cups of this artisan bread. You don't have to use that. The regular King Arthur bread flour works great. Whatever flour you have. I just happen to have this on hand, so I'm going to use it. And get 2 cups of the King Arthur flour. Just a little bit more. Okay, there we go, just perfect. Now, I use the pink Himalayan salt. You can use the regular table salt if you would like. And for this, I'm going to go 1 1/4 teaspoon. There's 1. Get just a little bit more in there. There we go. Now I'm going to whisk this together. Get it nice and evenly distributed. Okay, there we go. So now we've got our flour mixture ready. We've got our yeast getting ready to get active there. So we're going to give it a couple of more minutes to really get working, and we'll be back to add the flour in and start our no-knead artisan bread loaf. Okay, so we've got the yeast getting started here. We're going to go ahead and add in our flour with a little bit of salt so we can get this going. So in here we got 4 cups of sugar and 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt. And we're going to add that to our 1.5 cups of water, our 1/2 cup of sugar, and our 1 1/3 teaspoons of yeast. And so here we go. We're not going to add quite all of the flour in just yet. It is going to be a very sticky dough. It will be wet. But that's what's going to give us a really good crunchy crust, soft middle, artisan style bread loaf. Alright, so now I'm going to switch over to spatula. You can see it's still quite a wet, sticky dough. That's good, that's what we want. Looks like I got everything in there. All nice and incorporated now. Okay, I'm going to cover this up with some cellophane. Plastic wrap. It's not on there super tight. Just enough to make it hold on there. Then I'm going to cover it up with a towel. And I'm going to put it in a warm part here in the kitchen. And we're going to let this rest for a couple of hours. We want it to at least double in size. So it's about right here now. When I come back, we should be all the way to the top. Here we are a couple hours later. And you can see that the dough has pretty much made it all the way to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of here. And I'm going to work the structure a little bit to help ensure a nice strong crust that'll give us that nice crunch when we're all said and done. Put just a little bit of flour on here. We're just going to go along the sides, kind of lifting and pulling it off the side. Alright, we're gonna lift and fold a few times as we go around. This is just going to help us build the structure of the exterior of the dough. You can see it's very wet, but it's not really super sticky, and that's what we want. We're almost there, because you can see I'm starting to lift it and it's kind of pulling the whole dough ball out. It's all starting to become one nice piece as we lift and we fold. Alright, that's just about perfect. So we're done there. You get a pan, we're going to do another rise. I'm going to line this pan. With some parchment paper. Maybe. Parchment paper is going to help keep it from sticking, and we're going to be able to take it out of here and place it into our hot Dutch oven once we're ready. There you go. So you can see, having worked it just enough to help it pull off, pretty much gets the bowl empty. Alright, I'm going to get this covered, and we're going to leave this again for a little while. We're going to let it approximately double in size again, and then I'm going to score the top. We'll stick it in the Dutch oven and get it baked. Alright, so we're ready to take the bread where it's been resting. We're going to put it into a Dutch oven. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here. I'll be careful. Oven's at 450 degrees, so that Dutch oven is going to be extremely hot. Please use caution. Lid off. She's hot, all right. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and take this out. The good thing about the parchment paper is you have a way to slide it down in here. Try not to burn yourself. All right. Now, right before I put the lid back on, I'm going to take and score this. There we go. And I always take and just flick in just a little bit of water before I put the lid on. Lid's on nice and tight. Right back into the oven. Here we go. Alright, we're going to let that sit in there about 25 minutes. We're going to take it out. We'll take the lid off, and then we'll check it, see how it is, and then probably bake it about 5, maybe 7 minutes with the lid off. Ought to give us a good golden brown color, so we'll see what we got. Alright, it's been 25 minutes. Let me grab that out of the oven. Let's see what we got. let's take a look. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. All right, now take this, put it in the oven without the lid on, and we're going to make that a little bit more golden brown. Take a look at that so far. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go about 5 to 7 minutes on that, and we'll pull it out. We'll be right back. It's been about 7 minutes. I checked it at 5. It wasn't quite ready, so I let it go a couple more. So let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Looks good. Look at that beautiful loaf. Alright, so this is about where my family likes it. You can go a little bit longer if you like a really dark crust. But my family, boy, that's just about right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of here. We're going to set it on a cooling rack. We're going to let it completely cool down. It's probably going to take an hour or so before we cut it. But when we get ready to cut it, I'll bring you guys along, see what we got. All right, let's go ahead and cut into this, see what we got. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to get me a longer knife. Alright. You see a little bit of steam coming off there. We didn't want to wait. Ready? What do you think? There you go. There's a very no knead, low knead artisan bread loaf that just about everybody can make at home. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please click the like, click a subscribe button, hit the little bell notification, wherever that thing's at, and give us a comment down below and tell us what you think. Thanks for watching.